In this video, we're going to try to extract some of this hook logic into a separate file so that it can be reused somewhere else if we wanted to. So to get started, inside my src directory, I'm going to make a new file called useLocation.js. Inside of here, I'm going to import just useState and useEffect from the React library. And then I'll set up an export default of an arrow function like so. Now, once again, I want to go back over to that app component, and I want to kind of take a look at our hook-related logic inside of here and think about what different properties are inputs to this hook logic and what different values are essentially outputs from it. In this case, we do not have any input to any of this hook logic. There's no value that we are essentially putting in here as we were previously on that last application we worked on. There's no prop that we're feeding into this hook logic or anything like that. The only thing that we get out of it is the latitude that the user is currently at and the error message. Now, we could get out the setter for both those properties, but we don't actually care about them. The only thing that our component cares about is the error message and the latitude. So essentially, we want to take all this hook logic right here. We want to cut all of it out. We want to put it inside of that new useLocation function right here. And then after this thing gets called, we eventually want to just return our latitude and our error message. That's it. We don't care about anything else out of this hook. So at the bottom, we can return the lat and the error message a couple of different ways. You could return them inside of an object. So like lat is lat and error message is error message. But the community convention right now around hooks is generally to work with values by returning them inside of an array, because that allows us to use that array destructuring syntax like you see right here consistently across all hooks that we put together. So rather than using an object right here, we might instead do, say, lat and error message inside of an array. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of this approach right here. Like I said, this is community convention. I don't personally think this is a great way of doing things, because if you ever decide to change the kind of signature of this thing, like let's say we also have a longitude inside of here as well, well, now we've kind of thrown everything off, and that would break a lot of our use of this hook. So it's definitely up to you, but again, community convention is to use an array. I personally don't think that's a great approach. Either way, we've got an array being returned with our latitude and error message. So now we can save this file, flip back over to our index.js file. At the top, we will import useLocation from useLocation. And then inside of our app, we can call useLocation. And remember, it's going to return an array with our lat and our error message. And that's pretty much it. So we can now save this, flip back over to our browser, and do a quick test. So I still see bird is cold. I can go down to the southern hemisphere, see let's hit the beach. I can change my location to, say, block. I still see, oops, nope, that didn't quite work out. I didn't actually hit block, my mistake. Let me reset it entirely. I get the spinner, and then if I hit block, I see the error message. Perfect. All right, so that is pretty much it. We refactored our class-based component into a functional one, and take a look at the logic inside of here. This is significantly less than we had before, and we've now isolated all of our business logic into a separate function that's much easier to understand what is going on. All right, so I'd say this is a good success. Let's take a pause right here.